Hello, and welcome to this ASG Technologies Tech Talk, Embracing Complex Workloads within DevOps. My name is Jeff Charrington. I'm Vice President of Product Management Systems here at ASG Technologies, and I'll be providing the information that we share today. We hope wherever you are, that you and all of yours are safe and well. In this session, we'll talk to three topics: aligning DevOps with enterprise value streams, the importance of equal focus on the ops part of DevOps, and overcoming the challenge, the role of enterprise orchestration. And then we'll conclude with a so what? Who cares? What's in it for you? So let's start with the typical visualization of DevOps. I think many of you are familiar with this, the sort of figure-8 racetrack that represents the cycle of DevOps from the beginning to the end and restart. If you're not familiar with DevOps, and a few of the folks we talk to aren't, it's actually relatively new to the industry. DevOps was first coined in 2009 by a couple of thought leaders, Patrick Dubois and Andrew Clay Schaefer. You may recognize the latter was co-founder of Puppet. And they started talking about this process that can deliver capabilities and value to the end users more quickly. Later that year, Dubois had the first DevOps Day event in Ghent, Belgium, and from that point, enthusiasm and investments have continued to grow. While a strict definition is still emerging, a good approximation is DevOps is a set of practices intended to reduce the time between committing a change to a system and that change being placed into normal production while ensuring high quality. Driven in part, at least, by the shift in the sorts of applications that are delivered and the technologies that use them, it's gotten a lot of focus, particularly over the last 5 years, as interest has grown tenfold, as we can see by the amount of inquiries and traffic that comes through the internet. At the end of the day, as interesting as new technologies and new techniques are, it all comes back to the commercials. What we illustrate here is the reason for considering DevOps. If we take a look at our traditional methods of delivering new capabilities, new code to market, whether it's a product or simply the revision of an internal workflow, the longer that we take, the less time we have to take advantage of it and harvest the commercial value. With DevOps, we're shortening our cycles, we're delivering new capabilities more quickly, and as a consequence, we're able to harvest that benefit more frequently, and as a consequence, gain a great deal more from it. And as we think about DevOps, one of the things that is plain is that it remains a tool-oriented ecology. If we take a look at the ecosystem, perhaps as you see illustrated here in the typical DevOps architecture as implemented here at ASG Technologies, it may take 30 or more different sorts of applications to make up the tool chain simply for the development part of the DevOps cycle, so that we're doing the process according to the methodology and delivering the value that's intended. What we hear from our customers when we talk to them on this subject, and the experience that you might be having, is that this is actually the best place to be at this point in time. The tools that are being applied to DevOps are changing so quickly. New players are emerging so quickly with so many valuable and profound capabilities that it remains best to select best of breed. To arrange the tools for the DevOps tool chain that suit your needs and your purposes, while still keeping them loosely coupled through appropriate orchestration that gives you then the flexibility to switch out a given tool at a point in time when a new tool emerges that better suits the needs of your enterprise. So where does this bleed over to value stream? Many of you, I'm sure, are familiar with the term value stream. It certainly comes forward in Agile and some of the other disciplines that we apply to our work as IT professionals. If you've not heard of it, it is a term that was coined by the lean manufacturing movement a couple of decades ago that focuses on the steps that lead from the origination of a request for value to the fulfillment of that value to the customer, whether that customer is internal or external. having been coined from lean manufacturing, it has now bled over to our world in IT and application development. A lot of talk and a lot of offerings that you'll find in the DevOps tool space are value stream oriented. The point is that we want to focus on how do we get from the point of starting a delivery of value to the end user with only the necessary and appropriate steps, and do it as efficiently and as automated as possible. Which leads us to the reality of the enterprise and management of value streams. One of the things that certainly we are asked to help our customers with is the fact that while value stream may have been originated from lean manufacturing, DevOps may have been originated from the open systems and cloud communities, the DevOps orchestration of value streams has to take into account the realities of the enterprise. Many value streams are dependent upon the mainframe. Mainframe may not be the only technology or even a primary technology in the enterprise, but very frequently there are parts of every value stream or many value streams that are still mainframe dependent. An order entry system that's capturing credit card details may need to capture those through a web form on a cloud-hosted application, but then pass them to a mainframe payment, settlement, and routing application. An order that comes in to the shop floor to create a set of goods through manufacture may be entered through a multi-tier open systems application, but then need to interrogate a mainframe hosted inventory control system, or ERP, before it can progress. And so another important element that certainly we see working with our customers is that your DevOps strategy, your value stream fulfillment strategy, must take into account integrating with your traditional mainframe applications. And that gets much, much more complicated when you take a look at what the reality of end-to-end value stream automation is in the enterprise today. While this particular graphic was selected to show that complexity, it's not necessarily meant to be false or misleading. This really does reflect the starting point that many enterprises have as they begin to apply the DevOps techniques of value stream automation to their existing business. The existing business has grown over time. Some of the value streams probably were in place even before there was IT automation and were automated piecemeal over time. And that piecemeal nature means that there's a lot of glueware. There's a lot of sneakernet activity. There's a lot of interaction via email. There's a lot of undocumented and unmanaged scripting within the enterprise. And the consequence is, as we begin to work forward to find the better model for automating our end-to-end value streams across whatever number of technology stacks they require, so that we end up giving the enterprise the benefit of a lean DevOps value stream implementation. And that's really very necessary because the evolutionary manner in which many of these critical enterprise value streams have developed have led to isolated silos of technology that manage specific parts of it, but very little opportunity to manage the value stream completely end-to-end. And that's a missing element that many of the customers we work with, many of the enterprises that approach us, feel like is absolutely necessary. The IT professionals we work with want to be able to manage their business in the same manner that their internal stakeholders do. They want to align with the line of business leaders so that if the critical element of success, the KPI, that is the measurement of whether the enterprise is doing well or not doing well, is order entry. We want to be able to manage our technology end-to-end for order entry, or for onboarding new candidates, or for the manufacture of goods to be delivered to market. Whatever it might be, the IT leader who successfully aligns his view of his work with that of the line of business leader he or she may be responsible to is going to have far easier conversations and gain far more support and eventual investment than those that do not. Which brings us back around to the point I made at the beginning. We need to ensure that DevOps has an equal focus on ops as it does on dev. And that's why I bring this particular graphic forward. This illustrates what I see from almost everyone who is involved with a DevOps activity, whether they're rolling out DevOps within their enterprise or if they're selling DevOps tools for the DevOps tool chain. You take a look at the guide we have here, 7 steps, and what you see is that 6 of them focus on the initiation and the execution of the development phase. And at the very end, the 7th step goes, oh, and then operations happens. We believe that that's actually an underserved area of the DevOps community. Just as you need orchestration to coordinate all of the activities of the tools in the DevOps tool chain, you need all the same sort of orchestration and management of the automation for the execution of value streams at runtime. When we're doing an individual instance of value fulfillment, we need to be able to apply the same sorts of discipline, transparency, visibility, monitoring, logging there as we do with our DevOps development efforts. And the best practice is actually to have that in a single common platform, because that gives us the opportunity then to treat actually the DevOps workflow as just one more value stream within the enterprise, which actually then delivers the automation for production value streams at the end. And that's why we believe that the best practice that should be adopted for DevOps implementations for enterprises is enterprise orchestration that allows for the range of complexity, the range of flexibility, the range of conditionality that is required by the enterprise to fulfill their unique market position and their unique market strategy, and has all of the capabilities necessary to not only integrate with the DevOps tool chain, but with their new and traditional automation which drives their business today, from mainframe to cloud, traditional two-tier client-server applications to modern container apps on the cloud. All of that needs to be considered, needs to be managed, and that's why we built on our proven history of enterprise workload management to develop ASG Enterprise Orchestrator, your enterprise orchestrator for both your DevOps toolchain management and for your operational execution management. So what takeaways can I offer from this discussion? The first is DevOps delivers tremendous value to your customers, whether they're internal or external, and as a consequence, tremendous value to the enterprise. And it delivers it more quickly, and you're able to receive the benefits more quickly, which has a positive commercial impact on your work. Many of the process automation discussions you hear associated with DevOps focus solely on the application release automation, the ARA aspect, where we believe that it is as critical to focus as much energy on integrating the automation of your enterprise value stream operations throughout the dev cycle as it is through automate your dev cycle itself. And as a consequence, then you're able to get what you need, which is the fully transparent, fully managed, fully documented, and fully auditable workflows to support the value streams in your enterprises today. I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate your attention. Certainly, this was a very brief introduction to this topic. For more information about how ASG Enterprise Orchestrator can help you, please contact us at ASG, or feel free as you continue your digital transformation journey, to talk to us and discover more steps at our virtual booth here at this particular virtual conference. And let us help you embrace and enhance your complex workloads within DevOps. Thank you. I'm Jeff Charrington, ASG Technologies. Have a very good day.